What is up, Need for Speed racers? It is I, Alex Cornnut, your wheelman, and we're here today with the viewer requested 600 LT. McLaren has really got it worked out with this car, and it's a lot of fun in game for sure. Viewer requested by Mr. Mad, and a lot of you guys gave that some likes, and so I'm happy to bring it to you. Viewer requested means that you guys asked for it, so drop a comment down below on what you want me to build next. Whatever comment gets the most likes will be the next build that I put on the channel for you. If you are going to drop a comment, make sure you like your own comment and also like somebody else's while you're down there, so that way we're spreading the love. And while we're liking all of these things, go ahead and like the video and also subscribe if you're not, so that way you're tuned in for the next builds that we've got coming out. Guys, I just started the Cornnut Crew Copium series. It is the B-Class Volkswagen Beetle. I've got a build on yesterday's video. I will link that video at the end of this one, so you can click on that and just check it out. I'm super passionate about this project I've started, and I want all of you guys to participate. I don't want to talk too much about it because the other video covered everything, but just guys, participate. Anybody can be a part of it. All you gotta do is upload a screenshot. You can send it to me via email or send it in the Discord. So we've got you covered either way. So go set a time on that this week, you guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. For now, let's dig into the 600 LT and show you guys what I've got for you. This thing is a short track monster. Now, I've got two builds for you. I've got one that is like the short track king. I don't think there's a car that pulls harder for me in the short track. And then I've got one that's got a little bit more of a top speed. It lags a little bit on the top end overall for the acceleration side, but it's still very, very competitive in S-Class. But let's get you the first one out of the way, and this is the build that I have all the gameplay footage for as well. So culmination, it's all there for you. The engine that you're running in this one is the 7th engine over. So if you count from the first engine, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is the 3.0 liter flat 6, 444 brake horsepower when we start. The parts, Elite Platinum everything on the engine side of things, with the exception of NOS. So it is Elite Platinum induction, Elite Platinum ECU, Elite Platinum fuel system, Elite Platinum exhaust, and Elite Platinum screw supercharger. Now, I did try this build with the single turbo. You got to take a little bit of power out of it, and honestly, it's not really worth it because this car redline techs no problem at the top end of things. And so I was able to get like 173 super consistent, 175 with a little bit of NOS, which for the short track is really all you need. Don't get me wrong, you're going to get walked on some of the longer races, but like Rapid Transit, I was doing that race and I was getting walked on, so I've got some crazy jumps that you can do on that track. And honestly, with the screw, if you get into the dirt, it can get a little spicy at times. But outside of those two things, the car's really killer on the short track. You run Sport Bronze Nitrous, Elite Platinum road suspension. It comes with Elite Platinum brakes, Elite Platinum grip tires, Elite Platinum clutch comes stock, so you automatic players are super in luck here. And then I run for this build the Sport Bronze 5-speed transmission. You need to put in at least a Bronze Sport differential, that way you can get 100% grip. But if you want to and get spicy, you can run the Elite Platinum diff, it's up to you. But you need at least the Sport Bronze. I run Nitrous Drift and Nitrous Grip so I can get my micro drifts down. You guys run whatever you want. So if you prefer drafting, if you prefer near miss, whatever you're fastest with and most consistent with, that's better. Don't copy me and then struggle. Do whatever you're comfortable with and enjoy it. That's better. Like, go with whatever your gameplay style feels. Handling, slide that slider 100% to the left, to the left. We are full Beyonce on this one. Steering sensitivity, I run 2 clicks high. Downforce, go all the way low, back it off 1. That is S329. With this car having the screw and having top speed be its biggest drawback, running the downforce all the way low gives you the best opportunity to get a little more squeaked out of it when you're doing your redline tech. But overall, you guys, if you want to get real spicy with it and run it all the way low, you can do that as well. Or excuse me, all the way high, run the slider all the way to the right. It'll give you really, really very predictable and very nimble car. So go with whatever you like. Traction control off, drift entry. I'm still running brake tap. I just haven't figured out gas tap just yet. I'm struggling with that one. That is going to give you the first build of the two. This build is a 166 top speed. It'll do 172 with redline tech. I've seen 175 coming out of boost a handful of times, so you'll see some of that in the gameplay footage. Really, this car is insane on a handful of tracks. I did a 159 on blue collar my first time out in this thing, and I've got that for you right here. I know that if I got sweaty and actually practiced a little bit in this car, I could go considerably faster than that. I mean, 156, 157 would not be unobtainable at all. But for me, there's no reason to set those goals because we've got faster cars that if you're going to get sweaty on a track, pick the best car and go get sweaty. But for this one, it's a banger. And with it just needing all the drift zones, a lot of you guys have it. So it's going to be pretty sweet. Let me show you the other version of this that you can do. So that way, if you want to get something with a little longer legs, you're able to. Now for the other version that's got a little bit better top speed, you're actually going to slide all the way over and you're going to grab the 3.5 liter inline 6. The reason we get this one is because we actually put the 6-speed transmission with this motor. So the very first motor, iron basic, 3.5 liter i6, 274 brake horsepower when we start. Go to your parts and you're going to do gold induction, elite platinum ECU, elite platinum fuel system, elite platinum exhaust, and elite platinum centrifugal supercharger. This allows the car to have the highest top speed possible when we're building for that, and also has the biggest horsepower to match. So it's kind of a, if you're going to put in the 6-speed to get that top speed, this is the build that's got the most horsepower to push it along. And notoriously, that Sentry is a little slow on the pickup. It's a little slow to accelerate, but this car is so nimble and so agile that you really don't notice too much. But like I say, I really prefer the screw and the short track, because if you're going to go short track, go all the way and go all in, and it's pretty spicy. You run Sport Bronze Nitrous, same as the other build, and then the drivetrain stays the same. So it's Elite Platinum road suspension, Elite Platinum brakes, Elite Platinum grip tires, Elite Platinum clutch, and then change your transmission to the Pro Silver 6-speed transmission. And then keep your differential as is. Not auxiliaries and everything else I keep the same. That is now going to give you a top speed of 188. This car will do 195 easy. I saw 200 when I was boosting with it. It does have the legs when you build it this way, but it just doesn't accelerate quite as hard, and so you kind of pay for it there. And honestly, because we're looking at specialist cars, I was like, I'm going to make this just rowdy as can be in the low end and just use it on certain tracks. And so 801 is the horsepower with this build, 640 for your torque. Nerfing the torque is really what hurts us the most, and then with that Sentry being a little slower to accumulate its boost bonus, that's kind of the downfall of this side of things. But it's really good either way. But like I say, all the gameplay footage is with the other build. Go with whatever you guys feel. Handling, still 100% grip. Steering sensitivity, I'm 2 clicks high. And then downforce, you need to run kind of from there all the way to the right. So anywhere middle to the right side is where you want to be. Once you pass that spot, it goes to 330 or 331. So it takes it out of the class. Traction control off, drift entry, brake tap. Guys, this is a fun car. I'm happy to bring it to you. Mr. Mad, big shout out to him for requesting this and you guys liking that. I've got the 180SX coming out later this week. It'll be a base build. You guys requested that, so me and Slide are working on that together. And then I've got the Lamborghini Huracan coming out by Ozai, O-Z-I. He requested that in the Z06 video. So I am keeping track of who's winning what and bringing you what you guys are asking for. Check out the Copium series. That is a Cornnut Crew original. It is a culmination of all the things that I like that come to racing, and I'm doing it in a way that it is really tailored to newer players, middle of the road guys, and people that are not getting sweaty on this game every single day. Don't get me wrong, if you're a banger and you're fast, come and play. We want you. But also, if you're new or if you've never participated in any kind of series or any kind of league or anything like that, this is a super good opportunity to get into a competitive format that is open to all. And with the split system that I've got set up, I'm going to have winners all over the place. So even if you're 30 seconds off the fastest guys, you can still win your split. And that is going to allow newer drivers to shine and start competition in places where every other series that I know of and every other group that is doing stuff is alienating those players. And so instead of alienating the newer guys or the slower guys or the middle of the road guys, I want to grab you guys and bring you in and make you part of something that's going to be a lot of fun. So check that out. Video will be at the end of this. Guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Stay tuned for this gameplay footage. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. Yay, Lakeside. This is actually my least favorite track in the game, I think. But because of the playlist that it's in, I wanted to show you what we've got. Now that F40 is the hardest launching car in S-Class. So this will give you an idea of how we stack up against that. We launch in 4th gear. It's only a 5-speed, so 4th is right there at the top. And that's plenty. It takes us right up to our speed when we run out of NOS. We're in the dirt, get a little bit loose there, use our boost to try to catch back up to Bulky. He's pretty fast. Guys, we do have a full lobby here, and so this is going to give you an idea of how short this track is and how much of a gap you can put on people if you run semi-clean. We're trying to get in the draft, build up our boost. Guys, when you are running against other people, focus on getting that draft because you are accumulating free boost from that, and so you want to make sure you maximize and get all the resources that you can. For that corner on entry, you want to cut it sharp, go through the dirt to line up that next checkpoint. This one I like to micro drift and try to stay on the road if I can, and just keep an eye out for traffic because it's really easy to die to traffic. In this case with this car, I do stay on the tarmac. Sometimes I'll take the jump and get a little bit of air, but overall I wanted to try to just stay clean. Keep as much momentum in the corners as you can. Most of the time you're going to have a car with road tires in this section, so just do what you can to keep your momentum up in the dirt. Now we go a little wide here, lap 3, not too bad, keeping it nice and clean, staying in the oncoming side of things to get our boost and our blue NOS. So this is 3 laps, pretty clean overall, not meta, nothing crazy as far as times go. I think the guys run like a 16 on it, but we put a 600-yard gap on Bulky in the F40, and the gap goes way up from there. So that gives you an idea. Like, this car is tailored to this track with the way it's geared, and you can really just go for it. We're 10 seconds ahead of Bulky in the F40, and it just goes up from there. Pretty good little car. Now, like I was saying to you guys, blue collar, I did this one time, and honestly, pretty damn fast for what it does. I was really rather impressed with its performance here. I think if I gave it a little practice, 56, 57 should be no problem. This is not the cleanest of runs, but it does give you an idea what the car can do on this track. So we're just accelerating, getting the most we can out of the car. Going into this corner, you always want to brake tap and do a micro drift around here until you hit the apex. We get tapped a little bit there by Frostbite, so our boost is already kind of off rotation. We've got our 3-bar. I'm going to save it till this corner to try to get a nice long grip turn, and then use that boost coming out of this corner, chain it with the 3-bar that I make right there, and keep it going. Get a 3-bar from the long grip turn, use it here, and then try to turn that into 1 grip turn to get another 3-bar. So you'll see that we chain our boost together to get as much boost as possible with those grip turns and the micro drift, so that way when you're going into these corners you can make the most of it. So far it's been a pretty clean run. There's definitely room for optimization. Like right there, we could have taken a better tree line. Coming through here, I could have used my boost there, right there, sooner to get up to speed faster. But overall, we're not shooting for record times, especially in this car. But I do want to see you guys to see that there's something here. This car goes just fine. We stay in 5th gear because that's pretty much where this car lives for the majority of its life with this build, and that's just plenty. Hit the boost at the bottom of the hill as soon as we hit the tarmac, get the car back up to speed, micro drift in if it'll do it, get a grip turn, that's 3-bar, use that on the exit there. Now, if you do it right, you get a bar of boost, or 2. I didn't get any, so I have to start chaining here instead of already having boost for these corners. That's where I think I can make up a couple of seconds, is in this section by having my boost chain started earlier. But overall, it's all good. I love this car. I love the exhaust out the back. I mean, overall, it does everything that I like, and it's really very predictable for the most part. I mean, you're going to get a little bit of craziness with the torque side of things, like you might find yourself going off track here and there, but It's a pretty clean run. We never even wrapped out the car and got to max speed, so you know it's geared correctly for this particular track. So if you're looking for a blue collar slayer, something that's kind of off meta, this is pretty close to what the meta cars are doing, and overall pretty fast stuff. I really do enjoy it. Get High Tonight is an excellent race to show you the different lines you can take with this car because of the way that it is geared and how it's set up. So most of the faster cars will walk you in the last straightaway, but if you do really good on the early track, you can build up enough gap to have no problems there. We launch in fourth as we do. Just get in that draft, tuck in those F40s. Like I've said before, they are super fast on the launch. I think it is the fastest car in the game for the launch in S-Class. Using our boost around the corner. Now you see we're just bouncing off the rev limiter, 169. Nice. So we come into this corner here. I'm trying to build up our bar so I can cap it right around this corner, make a nice sharp turn, go to the right of the tree, and just line up this downhill section. It's amazing. This car handles very well and can be very predictable once you kind of learn it. I didn't spend a whole lot of time driving it because I've got other things I got to do with my day, but honestly, pretty solid. So we grip turn right there. See how the car just hooked up? It's amazing. That's going to allow you to get a lead on some of these other cars early on and then build up enough of a buffer that when you get to the top speed section, you're not going to be really caught by anybody. So we're using our boost, doing everything we can to get up to speed. You'll see it's bounced off the rev limiter there again, 169. Get my micro drift there. Hit the gas station. Now I'm saving all my NOS. There's 170. There's 172. It'll do a little better in a perfect straight line, but you saw 173 there. That tells you where this is at. Like the car says it does 166. No, it does 173. Now we end up clipping traffic, not able to take the shortcut, but we're still in really good shape because of the lead we've put on everybody. Except for Bulky, he's right behind us. Now watch that yardage. As soon as we hit our top speed, that's going to start to fall. He's going to start to catch us. Here's the line. Take it really sharp, cut through the parking lot. This is one of the few cars that can do that. I'm going to back it up and show it to you again. Coming through here, you're building up your bar. As soon as you hit this next checkpoint, cut really sharp and go through the parking lot. This is a line that not a lot of other cars can pull off because you're going too fast and they don't handle as good. This one's got incredible grip, turns really well, and so you can take that short, nimble line, save yourself from going wide, save yourself from getting involved in traffic, and a couple of seconds off that corner. Now, Bulky's catching us like crazy. He's got so much more speed than we do, but because this car handles the way it does, you can take certain lines and do different things with it. It really allows you to do a 159 on Get High Tonight. Like, mind you guys, we are well below that for record times, but if you're going to go pub stomp, shoot, I'd be surprised if you don't win every single pub lobby with a 159. That's plenty fast for a short track specialist. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.